Did Hamilton deserve his 8th World Championship? The 2021 Formula One season was a roller coaster of emotions, filled with intense rivalries, dramatic crashes, and nail-biting finishes. From controversial collisions to last-lap drama, this season had it all. Here are the top 10 dramatic highlights from this unforgettable F1 season. Number 10. Verstappen's qualifying heartbreak. Early in the season, Max Verstappen was flying during qualifying, looking set to stop the Mercedes' front-row combo in Saudi. The young Dutchman was on a fast lap, pushing his Red Bull to the absolute limit. However, disaster struck on his final flying lap when he clipped the wall in the last corner, costing him a shot at pole position. This mistake highlighted the immense pressure both title contenders were under, knowing that every point could be crucial in the championship fight. Verstappen's frustration was palpable as he realized the opportunity he had lost. It was a stark reminder of how fine the margins are in Formula One, where a moment's lapse in concentration can have significant consequences. The incident set the tone for the season ahead, showcasing the high-stakes nature of the Hamilton-Verstappen battle. It also showed Verstappen's aggressive driving style and his willingness to push to the absolute limit, which is a characteristic that would define his approach throughout the year. Number 9. Hamilton's magic button error. Even the most experienced drivers aren't immune to all costly errors. As Lewis Hamilton demonstrated in one race, running in second place, Hamilton was all set to take advantage of any mistakes from the leader. However, at the restart following a red flag period, disaster struck for the Mercedes driver, giving Verstappen a significant points advantage at a crucial stage of the season. Number 8. Norris's heartbreak in Russia. While the Hamilton-Verstappen battle dominated headlines, there were plenty of dramatic moments involving other drivers. One of the most memorable came at the Russian Grand Prix, where McLaren's Lando Norris came so close to securing his maiden Formula One victory. Norris had driven brilliantly all weekend, securing his first pole position and leading much of the race. With just a few laps to go, he looked set to hold off a charging Lewis Hamilton for a famous win. However, the unpredictable Sochi weather did not stop, surprising the same year as well. In heartbreaking scenes, the young Briton slid off the track multiple times, eventually dropping down the order as those on the correct tires streamed past. A potential first win turned into a 7th place finish, leaving Norris devastated. Number 7. Bottas's Monaco pit stop disaster. Valtteri Bottas, often the number 2 driver against his teammate Lewis Hamilton, had his fair share of misfortune in 2021. Perhaps the most dramatic moment came during the Monaco Grand Prix, a race where pit stops can make or take away a driver's chances. Bottas was running in a strong second place when he came in for his scheduled pit stop. The image of Bottas sitting in his car in the pit lane, unable to continue, became one of the defining images of the season. This incident not only cost Bottas and Mercedes crucial points, but also highlighted how even the smallest technical issues can have massive consequences in Formula One. Number 6. Perez's emotional win in Azerbaijan. One of the most dramatic moments came at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, where Sergio Perez secured an emotional victory for Red Bull. The race in Baku was chaotic from start to finish. Verstappen, who had been leading, suffered a devastating tire failure with just laps to go, crashing out of the race. This set up a 2-lap sprint to the finish following a red flag period. Hamilton, now in prime position to make the best of Verstappen's misfortune, made a rare error at the restart, locking up and going straight on the first corner. This opened the door for Perez, who drove without errors to secure his first win for Red Bull and only the second of his career. The victory was particularly sweet for Perez, who had been brought into the Red Bull team to support Verstappen's title challenge. Number 5. The Silverstone collision. As the championship battle intensified, it was perhaps inevitable that Hamilton and Verstappen would eventually come to dogfights on track. This moment arrived at the British Grand Prix at Silverstone, in one of the most controversial incidents of the season. This collision marked a turning point in the Hamilton-Verstappen rivalry. It effectively added an extra layer of tension to their on-track battles for the remainder of the season. Number 4. The Monza Crash. If Silverstone had raised tensions between Hamilton and Verstappen, their collision at the Italian Grand Prix in Monza took the rivalry to new heights. As Hamilton exited the pits midway through the race, he found himself wheel-to-wheel with Verstappen into the first chicane. Neither driver was willing to yield, resulting in a collision that saw Verstappen's Red Bull end up parked literally on top of Hamilton's Mercedes in the gravel trap. Number 3. Brazil. Hamilton's comeback drive. The Sao Paulo Grand Prix provided a stage for one of the most remarkable performances of Lewis Hamilton's career. After being disqualified from qualifying due to technical issues, Hamilton was forced to start the sprint race from the back of the grid. What followed was a masterclass in overtaking. Hamilton carved his way through the field in both the sprint race and the main Grand Prix, eventually catching and passing Verstappen for the lead in a thrilling wheel-to-wheel duel. After several laps of intense battling, Hamilton finally got alongside Verstappen on the outside of turn 4. More importantly, it kept his championship hopes alive, setting up a thrilling conclusion to the season. Number 2. Saudi Arabia. Collision and confusion. The second last race of the season in Saudi Arabia provided some of the most dramatic and controversial moments of the year. The newly built Jeddah Corniche circuit proved to be a challenge for all drivers, with its high-speed blind corners leading to several incidents throughout the weekend. In the middle of the race, Verstappen was ordered to give a position back to Hamilton after gaining an advantage off track. As Verstappen slowed on the straight to do so, there was confusion, and Hamilton ran into the back of the Red Bull, with Hamilton going on to win the race and level the point standings heading into the final race. Number 1. Abu Dhabi. The 2021 Formula 1 season reached its climax in Abu Dhabi, with Hamilton and Verstappen incredibly tied on points going into the final race. Whoever finished ahead would be crowned world champion, setting up one of the most anticipated finales in the entire F1 history. Hamilton got the better start and controlled much of the race, looking set to secure a record-breaking 8th world title. However, a late safety car for Nicholas Latifi's crash turned the race. Verstappen pitted for fresh, soft tires, while Hamilton stayed out on old hard. Mercedes were furious, feeling the normal procedures hadn't been followed. Team boss Toto Wolff's radio message, "No, Michael, no, Michael, that was so not right," even became a meme afterwards. So, what do you guys think? Do drop your views in the comment section below, and we'll meet again in the next episode.